So this is Daniel Boone, hunter, trapper, and Indian fighter, a children's biography of the Great Woodsman, published. Here, take a look at this illustration. That's just cool stuff, isn't it? Um, Published in 1955 by Random House. It was written by Lillian Moore, and the illustrations are by William Moyers. Now, at some point when I was a kid, we were driving somewhere, the whole family. It might have been when we still lived in New York State and we're coming down to Florida to visit my grandparents. Might have been after we moved to Florida and we're going somewhere on vacation. I don't remember. And we stopped at a restaurant that also had a gift shop. It might have been a Cracker Barrel, since Cracker Barrel was around at the time. But whatever it was, I saw this and I just thought it was really cool and I wanted to buy it. And my mom was really good. My mom and my dad both were really good about just buying us books when we wanted a book. Um, I might whine about wanting a particular toy, and they would say no because I was whining and didn't deserve the toy. But if I said, "Ooh, that's a book. Can I have that book? Can I have that book?" they would buy the book. They just about always would, and that was just they were great parents. I miss my parents. Anyway, um, I love this, and I have, of course, since read adult biographies of Daniel Boone, and I think he was a pretty cool guy in real life. But to an extent, this one is um, just looking at him as a legendary figure. But it does go through his whole life. It talks about his getting married and having daughters, and um, um, all the exploring he did. It's where I learned about barking a squirrel, where apparently you can see a squirrel on a branch, you can shoot the bark in front of him and stun the squirrel, and then be able to get it to skin or eat without having messed up the pelt by having put a bullet in it. And I have no idea. That's like one detail I remembered all my life. I have never gone hunting. Nothing against hunting, by the way. I love eating meat, but I'm just not a hunting guy myself. But I do know about barking a squirrel. I have no idea if hunters nowadays still do stuff like that or not. Do people still hunt squirrels? So the illustrations are neat. There's a mixture of black and white and color. And one thing I remembered when I rediscovered this book as an adult and hadn't looked at it in years, um, there's like some um, French and Indian War action there. There's D. Boone killed the bar on this tree. At some point, his daughters, or his daughter plus some other girls from the Boonesboro settlement are kidnapped by Indians. There they are. And when I rediscovered this book decades after having had it as a kid, and said, "Hey, this is the book I had as a kid," and I rebought it, so I'm afraid this is not the original edition. My mom bought me way back when. Um, I was able to confirm it was the exact same book because of this illustration here, where they catch up with the Indians that kidnap the girls and fire at them and get two of them, and the other three run away. Um, and why? Probably because I was as bloody minded as any other, let's say, 8-year-old when I read this. Um, um, so this book would have been out over a decade when we found in that store, so it must have, stayed in print for a while. Um, but for whatever reason, this particular illustration stuck in my mind. And so when I was looking through this, when I saw it in a used bookstore, um, I was able to say, yes, this is definitely the same one I had as a kid. Because I remember that exact illustration. And there's a bunch of other cool illustrations in here as well. And the prose is pretty good. And as I said, I've read adult, well-written, non-glamorized biographies of Boone and that part of history. And I think he really was actually a pretty good guy. And this book is really fairly accurate in presenting his life. Um, there he is as an old guy getting ready to move farther west because, there's Kentucky's got too many people in it now. And so there is, Daniel Boone, now 65, set out once more to make a new home on the frontier. I'm 65. I don't even want to go to work in the morning. That's an exaggeration, but I wouldn't want to march out to the frontier. See, there he is barking a squirrel. So I know how to do that, although I probably couldn't even hit the branch if somebody gave me a rifle and pointed to a squirrel. I'd probably be more of a danger to any other hunters out there. So there it is. Daniel Boone, hunter, trapper, Indian fighter. Written by Lillian Moore, illustrated by William Moyers. Just a really fun book. I've reacquired a number of books I've remembered reading as a kid. So far, it turns out I had impeccable taste in books as a child because I think so far I haven't been disappointed by any of them. And this is one that I'm very happy to own again.